Creator's Child presents In a Stranger's Body. Have you ever wondered what it is like to be inside a stranger's body? Perhaps you did so when you went to one of those movies where aliens take over others. Or perhaps it was a time when you had a crush on someone and you wished you could enter into them. Today we're going to be talking about deep spiritual merging. You are in conversation with Tarun and Celia Cherian, spiritual visionaries, co-founders, Creator's Child and Devadara Healing. So I was in a busy airport when it happened. I was sitting down and on another table was a stranger, a stewardess. And it just so happened our eyes met. And in that moment, there was an invitation in her eyes, a tug. And suddenly I felt myself within her body. I could feel things pulsing in her body, veins, arteries. I could feel her heartbeat. I could feel her breasts proud against her dress. I could feel her ass a little scratchy as her panties were scrunched up. I also noticed that one of her shoes pinched quite a bit. I could also feel her stomach churning a little, for she was concerned about her mother at home. And there was a moment when her eyes opened and I could see myself sitting. And she wondered who I was because she was very good socially. She'd look around the room and be able to tell from their clothes, from their demeanor, from their stance, what they were thinking. Then slowly, as she thought of getting up, suddenly there was a sudden shift, as if a jolt between two beings, as if she had fallen asleep in her own body and she came awake and I was back in my body. Now, this is not the first time that we have talked about such an experience. A few years ago, one of our brilliant advanced students had been flying with his wife in a plane when suddenly he realized that he had gone into an intermediate psychic area where he could actually shift his wife's hands. Now the experience is a treasure chest from which we get so much. Imagine intimacy, so true, so beautiful. Imagine understanding that is so deep. Imagine finding the lost by looking through their eyes. Imagining strengthening family ties with unparalleled sharing. Imagine spiritual bonds that spread across the universe. Now, merging with someone else's consciousness is not something that we do lightly at all. Normally, we only do it with advanced students. You can get trapped in someone else's body. So this is not a technique that you should try without guidance. A stewardess we may never meet again has taken us on a deep spiritual journey. And we give thanks to her, our brave, beautiful students, and our divine helpers and gods. Thank you for subscribing to our channel, visiting creatorschild.com, and growing with God.